Argentine steakhouse. The steaks are huge. Away we go. Blake and Marek. Blake won it, flicked it down, anticlimax. Marek got it on the ground. Cochin did well, fired out a hand pass. Jackson gave it across to Delidio. The high ball inside the forward 50. Knocked down in front by Nahas. Back to Jackson. Busy start. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Vickery. Now Revolt got it from Cochin, and he misses near side.
Just looking at the matchups there, Dennett. Revolt having a shot on goal early, picked up by young Simpkins, so he's got the big job. We weren't quite sure going into the game whether it would be a Dempster or a Gwilt, but Simpkins the man.
Because no Fisher. Dennis talked about that. Graham got himself into a tangle. Nunes couldn't quite, and then Gwilt, second game back after the knee operation. He played really well last week, Gwilt, against the Swans.
They really are short of the tall defenders, aren't they, St Kilda? It's a bit like the matchups are always going to be out height, smaller in stature.
So Jones running with Cochin, no surprise there. Marriage.
Push, Jones, free kick. No, straight away to Jones.
So Jones on Cochin, gets a free for a push. Goddard. So deliberate with the kick, and gee, that's good play. At the back, down to you, Richo.
Yeah, both teams started with a loose man back. For Richmond, Jake Batchelor is sitting 80 metres behind the ball inside his defensive 50, on his own.
Richmond have that style. They'll always have a player between the goals and the players at half-back.
Blake again did well, got first hand to it. Jackson beaten everything, has the ball held to it.
It's interesting that point. What it means is you're not going to get running into open goals against Richmond, but there's less Richmond bodies in the back of the centre square across half-back. That's the style they're employing.
Marek to the back of the pack that time. Jones hurriedly, though, under the boot. Newman lays it off. Rance, who's been terrific
Newman.
this season.
Richmond.
No advantage was taken, obviously. Rance right under the pump, and Newman finds himself with the footy at left half-back, goes across the ground. An element of chance in that, sliding in. Grigg took the mark on his chest, goes back to Newman. Newman goes across the ground again. Bit of a fumble out there by Batchelor, back in the side tonight, coming back from injury. Griffiths played it brilliantly. Got it to Cochin. Morris back to Cochin. Runs short of the wing. Directs it down on the bounce to half-forward and Vickery. Vickery tackled by Gwilt. Comes across towards Gilbert. Pushed off the football by Martin. Well played. Got it back to Vickery. A centering kick. This is how they started last week. Grigg to Delidio.
There's a long kick to Delidio. Decides to go lace out to Marriage. So spotlight, blowtorch, whatever's been on Marriage has had little effect, you'd say. He started pretty well here.
I think he's gone into the forward line, and Blake's played tall defence. A lot of ruckmen have played very little defence, but Marriage has decided to get his height into the Richmond forward 50 and make Blake play as that defensive role.
As you can see, he hasn't missed a set shot this year, so he's 3 for 3. 40 metres out. Careful kick, bit too careful, I think, in the end. And that's a poor result. That's
2 metres or it's 50. Stay there.
Not what they wanted. So they've missed a couple, haven't they? Revolt had a gettable, and Marriage certainly had a gettable. Here's Simpkin, who's got the job on Revolt.
Towards the wing, ricochets off Kozetski. Rance stood up in a tackle. Marriage gives it across towards Tuck. Tuck goes with the left boot. King has to wait a while, takes the mark, lays it off immediately to a man he presumed was a better kick. And he was right. Jake knows. Grigg onto the chest of Revolt.
Watch Revolt played a little bit, and I just think he hasn't been moving into space like he did here as aggressively. Sometimes he just looks for his opponent's body, but this time the lead was on, he just ran into the hole.
Important kick, not only for Richmond, but for his confidence as well. Got a couple from this area last week, and he's on song again. That's a beautiful kick, Jack. That was skillful play. The build-up was classy. The kick from Tuck, not so classy, but he was under pressure. And King took the mark and just laid it off. And what a beautiful kick by Grigg. Hasn't he been a wonderful acquisition? And then the finish. Got the impression late last week that his confidence was starting to roll, because he finished with, I think from memory, 3 goals in the last quarter.
We see Jake King give it off here to Sean Grigg. He's averaging more uncontested possessions than any other player in the AFL this year, and Richmond are already 20 in front in that area. It's been a real strength of theirs.
So Tigers dominating early. Martin now out of the centre and a juggle for Edwards. So it's all happening back to Martin. Martin to Deledio, and Deledio, is he bringing it back? Not quite.
Some real quality involved there, Martin and Deledio. Edwards was really good last week against Hawthorn, playing a role. Really positive start here from the Tigers.
It's like Richmond are going downhill and St Kilda going uphill at the moment. I mean, they are really dominating. And the Saints' only chance they had was when Milne had a fumble at half forward a fair while ago. Noons to Gilbert, that's a good kick though. And speaking of you-know-who, he's kicked more goals on this ground and played more matches on this ground than anybody else, and rides that towards the goal and misses Milne with a behind.
After the first few minutes, Cochin has got the Jones matchup, gone and played deep in the forward line. And I don't think Quinton Jones is going to be happy playing as a full-back, and he's going to a fair bit tonight when Cochin has a bit of a spell forward.
As we said earlier, these two sides at their last meeting drew round 2 last year, so it's been a while. And Milne on that night, on Friday Night Football, booted 4-7. He easily won the game off his own boot. Here's Jackson. He's been terrific so far. Drives it down towards right half forward. Interference surely. Nahas will get the free. A lively Nahas.
Behind your mark, thanks. Robbie.
Great start by the Tigers. Up by 7. It's across the ground. Marriage, Slick, Batchelor, Rance, released into space. It's an interesting kick. It's worked out okay. Ellis has got it, lines up, and just misses.
Richo, quick one for you. We're talking about Cochin playing out of the square. He ragdolled Gillam last week against Hawthorn. What do you notice about his body strength as a forward?
Well, as an on-baller, he's very strong through the hips. He never goes to ground, if you notice that. So that serves him well in marking contests because he can body them out with his hips, like the one you said with Stephen Gillam last week in the goal square.
He's not playing, of course, been dropped. Not playing tomorrow. So Del Santo relieving Graham, and now Armitage. It's had a terrific year, Armitage, so far. Saints just need to post a score here. Milne did kick a running behind. But no real coordination amongst the Saints at the moment. Dempster wide, Goddard, that's a terrific mark. He went early, hung and took it on his chest. Haven't called Hayes much early, just thinking about their stars, and he's one of them, Goddard, of course. Kicks to centre wing. Blake tried to get rid of Marriage. Del Santo was clever. Armitage just tried to draw Newman to him, then kicks to Revolt and had a fair bit of it, Nick, but it didn't quite stick. Malera over the top to Saad. Goal. They've been exciting. They'll need them tonight. They've added the extra dimension, haven't they? I mean, we felt like St Kilda were a tired team last year. They bit one pace. I mean, no Lenny Hayes for most of last year too. I mean, that makes a big difference. But you thought at the start of this year, well, how do they rejuvenate themselves? What can they do to make them a better team? Hayes comes back, we know, but, you know, Revolt's got a dicky knee. Cozzy's not getting any younger. All of that. Well, Saad and Malera have made a difference.
Great confidence-boosting mark for Goddard here, and that's important the Saints get up. But Lee spoke about Richmond having the player behind on the fast break. On this occasion, they didn't.
I think the Richmond forwards are staying back to make sure that, you know, that it's not space occupied by a free Richmond defender.
Marriage down to Foley to Cochin. Grigg feeds it over the top. Cochin runs on, looks inside the forward 50. What a beautiful pass that was. Quality.
We're speaking a lot about Cochin because he's the next generation player. When he gives the ball, he runs hard for the first few steps. And that's the way you get involved in the next phase of play, by just really accelerating to the next contest.
I think it's fair to say nothing is more demoralising in football than sheer speed. Saw it at one end for the Saints moments ago. Scotty Waters has found some speed in this team this year. And then Cochin out of the middle. Revolt going at his second. Too far right. Through for a minor score. Richmond have looked by far the better side, but they're up by only 3.
So only Buddy's had more shots than Jack Revolt this year. And he's had a few already in this match. That's a lovely kick by Gwilt to Goddard. And then Goddard to Hayes. Think of that grand final draw, those two players, eh? Hayes, beautiful kick inside to Nick Revolt. Now, he's going to go short. Malira's the target. Sardo should say the target. And he's, well, within range, you would think. What a great setup.
Terrific passage of play. The big guns being involved. Goddard, Hayes, Revolt. This lead here by Saab was terrific. We might just get it here at the top of the screen. Goes in and brings himself back. So leads to create the space, double back. Gives himself probably 15 metres.
They had the extra number back, Richmond, but there wasn't enough pressure on the ball carrier when Hayes come through the wing, and he was good enough to use that lack of that time and space to set up Rewald for that possession going forward.
He's played 2 games at it. He hadn't kicked 2 goals on both occasions, and going for a second early here. So deliberate in the walk-up. It's not a run-up. Now it becomes a run-up. That's a beautiful kick. That was never, ever going to miss. Well, he's arrived, Dennis. I mean, he's an interesting player, isn't he? Gee, he's quick. And that was just such a deliberate build-up to the kick, and it was a beautiful kick.
Just watching the replays, Bruce, he seems a confident young man too. Congratulating some of the stars on their work in earlier games. Well done, Brendan.
Yeah, keep feeding it to me. I'll finish it off.
It's a great build-up here by the Saints, and what they did well from the kicking was just use the ball slightly off the line. There was no direct kick or passage of play that went right down the traffic line. Hayes brought it inboard, and then obviously Revolt to Sard.
Enjoyable, pretty football so far. Cochin again setting the world on fire in there. Kicks it out wide. Ellis gathers the bouncing ball. Marriage is running hard. Morris has got it now. There's Marriage. He ran from the centre, gets it at half forward, feeds it to Vickery. Vickery does well, gets the kick off. Good pressure though from Armitage. Affected the kick. Blake got back, took the mark. Saints up by 3. Goddard goes to the outer side. Milne, clever. Leads it back, sorry Bruce, your line. Taken by Milne, stumbles. Not so good. Stolen away by Conker. Conker goes down towards half forward, but the mark is taken by Grigg. So much of the football again already. Searching ball inside the forward 50. Marriage at the back, Jack. Jack at the back. Jack goes in and kicks the goal. He's got 2.
Marriage was just so important in that high ball in. I mean, he created a little bit of chaos for the Saints defenders. They felt like he was the man they had to go to, and yet Revolt did the roving. So, again, Marriage's value in going forward and creating an extra target took the pressure off Jack, really. Jack roved it in the end, and Marriage was the one that sort of split the pack, brought 2 to him, and it's a great result. Revolt's had a lot of shots already. I mean,
Revolt was smart enough to know not to fly, stay ground.
Did he get tripped here? Did he? I mean, that's a little toe poke into the leg by Jake King, yeah. And Marriage's contest helped Revolt, who now leads the Coleman medal, by the way. What about Marriage's start here? I mean, he's been in just about everything. And again, building the ball forward. He's not rucking against Natanui. We know that tonight. Cochin again from Jackson. Martin holds his ground. Jones got a high one from Nahas. Ball played on, still in a contest. Ball up.
Bruce, we saw the best of Richmond there. It was 5-zip now, centre clearances to Richmond. Cochin got it out, and this is the value of having a player like Martin as a midfielder who can play as a permanent forward.
8 possessions now for Cochin. Well done, down to Edwards by Marriage. There's Cochin, another one as he hooks it towards the pocket. Not his best. Although it's a good result for the Tigers. They'll get a boundary throw in right full forward. Now, he's on fire.
Nothing's changed. The midfielder who can go forward and be dangerous forward when he's having a spell is still a really valuable boost.
Boundary throw in. Marriage almost clean possession there through the legs of Armitage. They're a bit shaken at the moment. Hand pass from Grigg comes out to Tuck. Tuck snaps. Good looking effort. Can they shepherd it through? Yes. Oh, well done by Edwards on the goal line. Got his body in there. Bounced virtually on the line. And Tuck, perhaps the forgotten midfielder of the 5, gets a goal from 30 metres out.
So just, Lee, on that point, when you've got a Cochin going forward or a Martin going forward, creating a forward option, as an opposition coach, do you send your midfielder or do you rely on a defender to roll over?
Well, I've got a feeling that you try to have the one-on-one tag, but I don't reckon Jones is suited to play full-back as he is at this part of the game on Cochin. And sometimes, you want to have the pressure on for the whole game, but Gee, sometimes I think your permanent defenders is the guy you want in the front of the defensive goal square.
Richo, all the numbers are favouring the Tigers.
Yeah, it has been a good start. The Saints are throwing their forward line around with 5 smalls and Rewalt to try and get a mismatch with Griffiths.
So Stephen with a check side. Batchelor took Malira on, didn't quite get through, and then Stephen backed it up, and Tigers with numbers. Rant's so brave, isn't he? Even when his own teammates there. And now Vickery on the end of it. He's had a few touches earlier, but they haven't been all that good. Montagna bursting through, nice kick. And Malira this time in the side pocket.
Terrible turnover from Vickery. That's really set up the opportunity for St Kilda to score on the rebound. Well,
the last turnover he created was in his forward 50 when he kicked it straight to the Saints. So can Malira do a side here? Because at the moment, Saints are taking advantage of their inside 50s. Richmond dominating this match. It might be a couple of metres further out than Saad, and that one's not coming back for a behind.
Where the Tigers got really hurt on that occasion, Vickery trying to do too much on the outside of the boot. You could see the Richmond defenders all joining in, so the confidence is up. They're dominating possession at the moment, 62 to 33.
That's Griffith who unloaded into the centre square or not.
Mark is taken by Kosetsky, sends it right back towards the pocket. Malira missed it. Milne fumbles it, and it goes out of bounds. We saw that used to good effect last week. Griffith's long kick to centre. They got a couple of goals out of that last week, the Tigers.
I think the St Kilda have certainly scouted that. They had heavy numbers down the middle to try and make sure if they did go long from the kick in Richmond, they couldn't get through that centre square.
No secrets anymore. Week to week, they're all gone. Kosetsky tried to get it out. Rance succeeded. Over the top, Foley running out of space. Batchelor, he was across the boundary line when he kicked it.
Out of bounds.
But at that point you make, Dennis, I mean, you do something one week, the opposition know exactly what you're going to do and are ready for it. So the element of surprise lasts about 5 minutes, doesn't it, in the footy world?
Boundary throw in just outside the 50 there. Vickery, Batchelor, Edwards, Grigg, Ellis. Having to wait, Griffiths arriving quickly. Rewalt. Griffiths did well, won it back to Ellis. Breaks away from half-back, goes inside the centre square. Sweeping hand pass to Marriage. He's been industrious. Goes to Martin. Looks out very wide. Foley. Nobody near Foley. He can run it down to half forward if he wants to. Decides to kick. Beautiful kick too. Deledio 60 metres out. Wends his way through. Long kick. Telling kick. Touched on the line. Goddard got up there with Goddard right spring and touched it right on the goal line.
I feel like there's some similarities between Goddard and Deledio too. Two number ones, both can play off half-back, great kickers of the ball. And right now, Deledio's star is really shining. Goddard's had a good first quarter, though.
Yeah, Goddard jumps on a pack every now and again. That's about the only difference, isn't it?
Yep. So, Simkin has had a tough start. Dempster, who may get the job on Riedewald eventually. Vickery there, just unable to get and make the real contest with Dempster. He's an interesting player, Dempster, isn't he? Kicks the ball to half forward. And Griffiths rolls it over. Is that deliberate? No, boundary throw.
Been really impressed early days with the defensive setup and structures of Richmond in terms of playing predominantly one-on-one, but they do have that player loose and the rolling over effect. On that occasion, it was Vickery who made the right move but didn't impact the contest, but quite clearly being extremely well taught by Justin Leppich.
Boundary throw in.
Jason Blake.
Free kick to Blake.
Right on it. Right on it.
Win for the small guy. Looks downwards, full forward, ill-directed. Morris won't drop it. He's a good young player, Morris. Not so young, mature age, but by that they mean 22 or 23 these days.
Thank you.
There's Greg. Start was a star for the Tigers. Centering kick. Hooley had to wait. Thought Malira could have done better. So did Milne. He was quick on the assist. Picked up by Saad. In trouble, Milne. Full revolution. Gives it across to Del Santo. Haven't called his name too often. But when we call it, he was deadly. So, Nick Del Santo, I would say that's very close to his first possession. In fact, it's his second. So, that was a dangerous, dangerous kick. Came off, and because of that, I suppose the man had reason to think, well, The player who was coming to spoil was overcommitted, so I've got some space here, but he didn't count on the chase from Milne, who got the ball free.
Yeah, good stuff. And a good finish.
Well, it was a bad decision to actually come into centre-half back from the back pocket, but it's a terrible decision to play on without looking that 360 to make sure that you are clear. And turnover in that part of the ground, hard to stop the goal.
And he is a good finisher, Dal Santos. Such a skillful kick. Armitage just building his way through, and then Montaigne spirals the ball to a hot spot at centre-half forward. A push there, and Cripps unable to really get a kick away. And Richmond relieve. Oh! It's got up so high. And Nahas's little give cut off. Handball on by Nunes. And then Edwards, one tackle, and the other coming, I think, from Foley, is it?
Let it go. Let it go. Good contest.
It's a good leap, isn't it?
It's a big leap.
The most impressive part was the follow-up after this. He's hit the deck like a cat and gone straight to the contest. Terrific work.
Just thinking back, I don't think we've seen a better start standard-wise to a game this year. The skills have been on display. A couple of near speckies as well. Batchelor, Tuck, sweeping inboard. It came to Conker from Deledio, back to Batchelor. Searing kick down towards half forward. Not so good that time. Marked low down by Goddard. Told to go. Goddard side steps, comes out wide. Taken by Jones. Jones a little 1-2 with Graham. Or a 1-4. He comes across the ground, and the mark is taken by a tumbling Blake.
Goddard got that ball because I think St Kilda have identified if Richmond are going to roll that player back, then if we're going to have a spare in the back line, let's make it Goddard, who does that job really well.
Kick beyond the wing, revolt, that's Nick, had it knocked away, and the ball goes out of bounds, and Jones is taking a spell. Cochin coming off, Jones going off for his side.
Lee, you feel like it's a really interesting coaching night. I mean, Harvard's got his way of playing.
Got the defensive system, and now St Kilda are responding by using the fact that they've got one less forward to put Goddard back.
So Armitage now gets it back after a little bit of a tumble. Revolt in a good spot. If he gets the right one, did he get a push? Sard on the up. Did he get a push? Richmond doing well in the back. Morris rode it okay. Got enough on the handball. Nunes goes back. Poor handball. Coughed it up. King takes them on. Bounces off a couple as he often does. Jackson goes back. Rance took his time. Richmond so far using it okay, but there's another turnover to Goddard, to Blake, to Graham. Now Graham looks up, kicks the ball to Revolt. He'll get him, I reckon. He has. So the turnovers, there haven't been that many for Richmond. You feel like they've been kicking the ball. Is that Armitage?
Yeah, on the other side.
I feel like Richmond generally have been kicking the ball right, but when they've had a turnover,
they're going to have to be really precise now because St Kilda have now got that extra player across halfback.
So Nick Revolt. Dennis talked about Jack, important first shot, set shot. Well, we know with Nick, he's 12-15 from the set shots. Is it coming back? It's a strange run-up, isn't it?
The build-up there by Richmond was full of indecision. It was Daniel Jackson who had the ball across half-back, ended up retreating. That was because it was the visual pressure from Brendan Goddard further up the ground. Ultimately got his hands on the ball, so that's a massive win from the St Kilda coaching staff.
Deledio at half-back. His 7th possession goes in short to Foley. Foley was the catalyst last week. He's up to 6 possessions here. He made a great start. Last week he made the start that Cochin's made tonight. There's Vickery. Vickery drives it out very wide. That's a precise kick. Far better than his effort across half-back. Lovely. Edwards has got it. Midway between the lines. Just punches it down towards half-forward. Jackson came with conviction. 60 metres out. Goes to the pocket. Hard to stop that. Wonderful by the Tigers. Revolt gets on the end of it. And this one not beyond him. His confidence is sky high. He's booted 2. Got that separation a little too easily. Now, this would be a real boost. They're up by 2. Hardly a spare seat with Etihad. Kick is on the way. It's working back. Not enough. Behind. Tigers by 3.
Richo?
We talked about some indecision in the call there over on the far side when Richmond had the ball, resulted in that turnover to Riewoldt. The Saints' pressure is really good at ground level. They've settled into this game well now, St Kilda, and the pressure is a big lift for what Richmond had last week against Hawthorn. Be good to see how they respond to this.
Tom, looks like a change on Riewoldt as well.
It looks like Dempster's gone to Riewoldt, Bruce.
So Gilbert drops one, and then Martin was just quicker to get in there. On the up, Vickery, and then Tuck going for a second goal forward. Again, Marriage flying high. Riewoldt, and that one smothered on a boundary throw-in. Riewoldt claiming the mark. Marriage flying first. So they've done that a couple of times in this opening term. Marriage wins the tap. Del Santo ridden into the ground. Riewoldt looking for a high one. Cripps didn't give it away. Graham and Marriage going for the same footy. Graham trying to build it forward. Hayes getting down low. Tuck gets it to Foley. And Foley just hooks it too far.
There's that scoring threat that the midfielders have. Tuck was involved. Foley's involved.
Their push almost marked the ball real well. Yeah, one thing, because they float that defender back, all their midfielders can push aggressively forward, knowing they got coverage behind.
Umpire suggesting Simpkin touched that ball that Riewoldt was claiming as a mark. Here's Sard, lays it off. Farron Ray through midfield. Where's Nick Riewoldt? Farron Ray to 50. Goes long down towards the goal square. Riewoldt goes back, couldn't complete the mark. Kazetsky. Strong tackle by Rance. Oh, too high.
The tackle was fine until the end. You got him around the neck.
Sting in the tail.
Straight in front.
That was a powerful tackle. Rance has got some strength because this is a big man and he moves him like a sack of wheat.
It's that right arm when he went over the top of him on the way down.
Yeah, hard to argue with that.
Yeah. Bad luck, but certainly there. So Kazetsky directly in front. 3 times he's booted 5 goals against the Tigers. Most recently, round 21, 2010. And he comes. And he's missed.
He's had a big miss from 15 metres.
Oh, dear.
Well, we showed the graphic. He's kicked 13 goals, won from set shots this year, and 15 goals, won in total. You could not believe he's missed this.
It's not from not having a go at it. He's really launched at it. So just got the drop to the side of the boot.
So looks how it'll go Griffiths. There he goes, off a step, kicks it about 65 metres to half-back. King's at the back. Blake gets onto him in a boundary throw-in.
It's quite uncanny to see a man of that size, Griffiths, 200 centimetres, just kick the ball so fluently. Chris Bryant, when he was Collingwood, was like that.
It's like the big driver. He's got the really big, long lever, really long legs, and just gets beautiful timing through it.
Marriage Kazetsky. Kick forward by Cochin. Graham has to wait. Martin, beautifully done. Nahas backs himself, kicks it low and long and not too well in the end. And the Saints will be able to mop up here. Jones in that back half, controls it to Stephen. That's a lovely half volley by Stephen. And then kicks to a contest. Good effort in the front by Cripps and a boundary throw-in.
That's on screen. He reads the play really well. Playing cross halfback, he's often the one that Lee's spoken about, who plays that almost 2 kicks behind the ball. Important to their structure.
Blake uses the body. They fight a draw. Now the ruckman touched it. Hayes, Stephen taken high. He'll get the free. Winnie Hayes just the 3 possessions so far. Stephen is 5 now. So the midfield certainly has gone the way of the Tigers, although just get the feeling it's settled down a little bit. And the Saints working their way back into it. Del Santo across the ground. Just got it there in the nick of time. Graham, Dempster plays on the talls and the shorts. Comes across towards Del Santo. Puts himself on his right boot, but that's a lovely kick under pressure. Blake. Hayes. Cruising past Montagna. Sets it up. Riewoldt, will he get to the pack? No, doesn't. In front, Kazetsky, though. Battles after his own ball, played it well. Hurried kick inside the forward 50. Clever mark, Newman. Wonderful.
Terrific start by the captain. Well documented during the week. The only Tiger, as a Tiger, that's played in a winning team against the Saints out there tonight. Morris inside. Vickery's got some space here. Sits and waits. Does he Right, and he does. Martin, still with Martin. And unbelievably, they waste a real chance there, as I guess they have throughout. So 3-7 to 3-4, really high-quality stuff here on a Friday night. Damien Hardwick with Richo after the break, but it's the Tigers by 3 points on a Friday night, and he had over the Saints.
Starting with his Jones on the wing. I think they just want a better centre square squad and drop off the centre square matchup on Koch until after the bounce.
The Tigers won the first 5 centre clearances in that opening term. They get the first one here. Saints came back with a couple late. There is Goddard. Lovely kick to Saad, who ran hard and took the mark. Fascinating, the brief interview with Damien Hardwick. In fact, he's so aware of what's happening and wanting to change things up. I mean, Richmond were irrepressible at times in that opening term, but unhappy with the tempo, and good kick by Gilbert coming in to revolt.
Well, again, Bruce, it started with Goddard across half-back, the first possession. Used the ball exceptionally well, so Nick Revolt would be loving that, seeing the ball turn over across half-back and see the ball work its way through the middle of the ground, ultimately into an uncontested mark.
There's 2 Richmond players near Riewoldt, but again, because they try to get goal side, there was space for Riewoldt to come forward.
So that short run up, and again he misses, so he's had 2 shots, and he's kicked 2 behinds Revolt, and they've both been, well, 60-40, 70-30s getting on home. So that's a disappointing result there.
Got the high ball drop, so every now and again it just wobbles down badly to make contact.
That's 21 goals for this season. Goalie to himself, drives it towards the outer side, in from the side Gilbert. Interesting development there. Didn't touch the footy. At the back of the pack, it's Edwards. Goes down towards half forward. It pitches just inside the boundary and then goes out.
Just want to ask Tom, when Brendan Goddard's loose at a centre bounce, should you send it forward and make it a 2-on-1 just for that centre bounce, Tommy?
I'd probably even go with a 7-man forward line, Richo, just with a player of Goddard's, not normally the go, but he does get his hands on the ball and sets up play like we saw before.
Blake, after the boundary throw in, lays it off. Ray goes around the outer side. Rance gives it across to Morris, gives it back to Rance. Rance over the top, did well. Batchelor's in trouble. On the bounce, it comes to Conker. Buys himself some time, swings it out wide towards half-back. Jackson. So Jackson just forward of right half-back. Beginning of the second term. Miscues with a kick, and now
runners in the way,
interference.
Runners in the way, Richmond kick.
Oh, St.Kilda runner.
He's within 2 metres of the ball, James.
Paul Hudson.
He looks trim, doesn't he? I wouldn't have got that. Hudson.
Tony Brown, I reckon's the other runner.
I think the message is don't go near the footy.
Well, he was headed back to his home on the bench, like a homing pigeon. Unfortunately, was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Ball deep to attack for the Tigers, but the mark is taken down there by Gilbert.
So Vickery getting a lot of the ball, but just not kicking it all that well. Gilbert's kick wasn't great. Grigg running on to it, squaring it up. Jackson's underneath it. Well, didn't quite hang on. They still make it a goal. Edwards rolls it home.
Isn't he an improving player, Shane Edwards?
Kicking goals too, Dennis.
Yeah.
I mean, his last couple of weeks have been really important, haven't they? In terms of goal kicking, not only doing a bit of a defensive forward role.
Well, always had the feeling, Bruce, he was picked because he was fast. I mean, it was more about what he could do when he didn't have the footy. A bit like our favourite player, Alwyn Davey.
Yep.
But now he's doing stuff when he's got the footy, and as we saw with that huge leap on the outer side, he's capable of getting the footy.
Almost messed it up, didn't they? Richmond had enough bodies there to... Good interception by Greg. That sort of every goal was started somewhere or other, and he just intercepted the kick on the way out really well.
Bajastevich, one of the AFL's finest, puts it down. Marriage knocks it down. Delidio got it off. Tuck feeds it wide. Grigg, Hooley. Seen that a few times. Feed it back to go forward. Jackson on the outer side. Hard man to beat in that situation. Goddard got him down. Over the football. King. Slow to release, but Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
On that particular occasion, Dennis, Jackson went to Goddard to man him up as the loose man across half-back. Goddard responded by playing up across the wing, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
Cochin with him in close attendance there, Del Santo. It rolls in Del Santo's direction. Cochin almost came up with the footy. Laying a strong tackle was Jones. Finds the footy at his feet. Crawls after it. Cochin bounces to his feet. He's taken down. Lashes out with his right boot. And may have collected Goddard. Richo.
Well, the exciting Saad with 2 goals to his name. Spent off the ground for a few minutes, having his left knee assessed. Tested for all the structural work. I think he's okay.
Hand in the throat. Play on.
So Marriage gets a free. Hooley just under pressure, and then Grigg. So they're 2 recruits from Essendon and Carlton. Big fly from Dempster. And then Gilbert pushing it forward. Armitage and Tuck. Couple of hard bodies there running into one another. Conquered to Batchelor trying to get onto that left side. Handball to Jackson. Jackson paddles the ball forward. King did really well there. Got up and then well done, Nunes.
In the football.
King had eluded 3 of them, but Nunes was the one to come in late. Heard the umpire. Gilbert's sloppy handball. Gwilt, slippery ball. Back to Gilbert. Uncertain, the Saints there. In fact, running over it was Griffiths, but Tuck gets it back. And then Conker's kick forward to half forward. Martin so strong. Well played, Martin. Brushes a couple off, poor kick.
So Jones right on the defensive 50. Seems very indecisive here. From the moment he got the footy. Comes back to Gilbert. That's okay. Gilbert in space. It's catching. He drives it down towards half forward. Milne is outnumbered 3-on-1. Somehow split the indifference. Still going. Well played. Slips a hand pass to Montagna. Outside of the boot. Brilliant. And Revolt has taken the mark.
Clever kick. Real indecision across halfback. It almost was self-fulfilling. When Jones got the ball, Gilbert looked unstable, but Milne makes terrific decisions in the middle of the ground. We see it here in this kick. Just watch off the outside of the boot. This is what the really elite players do. Lee Montagna gets on the end of it. That's outstanding.
Just fashion the pass within his part of your foot.
6 possessions to Montagna. Meanwhile, the other Revolt goes long down towards full forward. Strong mark taken by Kazetsky. Did he use his hands? Not according to the umpire. Marriage stands the mark. Kazetsky goes back at a very sharp angle. But he can run around.
Just wait.
Hang on.
Do not move.
Greg Laganis.
Don't move.
There we go. Boom. Boom. Puts it through.
Well, he missed an absolute sitter in the first quarter, Cossie, but it's what he's been doing so well this year. He's been taking some really good contested marks. He's in the top 3 in the competition for contested marks this year. And when you take them 2 metres from goal, they are very handy. Again, Nick Revolt playing well, but he's not kicking well. I mean, that one turned out all right, didn't it? Because Revolt's kick was marked by Kazitsky. Just feel at the moment that the Saints are doing well to keeping up.
Really a piece of cake. You think your way through. You end up kicking from about 7 metres from goal, 45-degree angle. It's a pretty easy kick for the modern player, that one.
He's had 2 pieces of cake, though, tonight, Lee, and he dropped one.
That's true. The other one was too easy.
So Richmond trying to get it out of the centre again. This is where the Saints have got to hold them up. Foley and also Stephen in a battle and a baller.
What about that possession count? 137 to 101 favouring the Tigers. They need to make some hay here.
They were 59 to 29 up early on, so it's been parity since then.
But Marrick free kick. Marrick free kick. Shepherd.
So a couple of free kicks to Ivan Maric in the centre. So he's a giant figure in this match, and Revolt takes a lovely mark.
It's an interesting tactic at the moment, and Nick Maxwell spoke about it at quarter time in terms of different players playing on the key forward. I always preferred to have a full-back when you've got a really dominant full forward like Jack Revolt, so you can build in rhythm, you can build in confidence. But
problem is, Tom, I'm not sure if St.Kilda have got one. They've just got a mismatch of defenders all of a sudden, have they? That they just have to pick their best option for.
It's his 4th mark inside 50 tonight, Revolt. I mean, Sam Fisher, we know, is not playing. He would have been a very handy player for the Saints tonight, and he's kicking beautifully there. He's had a lot of shots and he's kicked 3 goals before half-time.
Well, as I said earlier, found some form late last week and he's carried that over now. So often the way you finish one week and up you come the next, and it continues on. And you can see now he's got that confident strut going. We like that confident strut, and he's got it.
He's kicked 150 goals in the last 2 seasons, Jack Riewoldt. I mean, only Buddy's got more, and he's leading the Coleman.
Well, Jack Riewoldt's got his confidence up, and he'd be happy with this, just getting it in there and giving him a chance to mark contested, which he did. But a win for St Kilda. Trent Cotchin has just come off the ground, hasn't had a touch this quarter. Good job by the Saints midfielders.
Martin held up. Foley's got it now, though. Goes back to Morris. Storming off half-back is Rance. Goes down towards half-forward, out in front of Jackson. Jackson and Graham both went to ground. Jackson the first up. Tackled by Jones. Gets a kick to it, though. Down towards the pocket. Naha's fingertips. Couldn't complete the mark. Gilbert goes inside to Simpkin. Simpkin under pressure. And Stephen needed to mark that one. It was all or nothing. Jack Riewoldt, game 100 now, 223 career goals. Again, a little indecision. Stephen going to Del Santo, nothing gained by that. They go looking for Cozzy, who's outnumbered 2-on-1. This is Ellis, goes short. Foley lays it off. Ellis runs on and kicks it directly ahead of him, which generally is not bad practice, but on that occasion, not so flash.
It's been a great rookie, I think. Ellis has really settled in as a young player, never looked out of sorts, and that one was out of sorts.
Hasn't missed a game, 18 years of age. It's been a fantastic start by him. Tucker high fly. Jones running on. Pushed forward by Armitage. Rance in front. Goes to ground. Gets up so quickly. And a good smother there. Trips involved. Foley. And then Foley with some strength gets the ball back to Batchelor. Batchelor's kick to Tuck. Tuck to Ellis again. To Martin. Now Martin, he's just so strong. He's a hard man to bring down in the tackle. Kicks to half forward. It's a good kick. And Jake King. He had a heap of it. Well, he might be a bit stiff. Montagna gets it from Nunes to Graham to Cozzy to Lenny Hayes. He's had a quiet start, Hayes. Nice kick to Armitage.
Oh, even more than usual. Jake's hair is bristling at the moment. And normally it's a beautiful lie for a rescue club. As the ball comes down towards half forward, coming across on the angle, Grigg did brilliantly, deflected it to Cotchin. Cotchin got it from Tuck. Goes across the ground to Riewoldt. Cotchin again, sold a teammate into trouble. Newman did okay. Hooley's got it, goes wide. Now Conker drives to half forward, needs a fist from the back. Not sure Simpkin tried to do that, falling to the ground. Armitage did well. Montagna took a while. Jake, not to be trifled with at the moment. He's up and about and angry. Ball comes across the ground nicely from Graham. Saad can run. The margin is 8 points. Richmond up, but that could be narrowed very shortly. Milne loves this situation. Tailor-made for him. And little Stevie puts it through.
Great call, Dennis. It's a good finish. He's the best hooker in the business, isn't he? But Saad was a good kick, actually. He's a clever player, Saad. He kicked the ball to the back of Milne. And I think he's gone off. Is that Montagna or Saad? That's Joey. But, gee, I felt like the Saints for the last 5 minutes have been chasing Richmond jumpers. They're doing a great job hanging in here. Montagna's hand, I think, is it?
Just seeing the build-up here, Rance has ended up on Milne. I think you'll find that there was a nice block by Riewoldt and Milne to release Rance to Milne. And you see Joey Montagna, I think he's busted his finger there.
So having a spell, Del Santo, they have been chasing Tiger jumpers, but they're still close. And Nick Riewoldt is playing very well. He just hasn't been able to quite finish, has he? He's had 3 shots on goal. Rance is
on the 50.
Wounded.
On the 50.
He'll kick through this one, Nick, at least. He knows he has to kick full distance. Amazing how players can kick it straight when they really know they have to run low.
55 metres out. Oh, it's the best kick he's done tonight. Well, Cozzy's marked it, I think, or it's a goal. It's a goal.
I believe it's over the line. It's a goal. Okay, all clear.
It's a goal to Riewoldt. Can you believe it? The Saints are in front now.
Remarkable.
Rance still in trouble.
He's in good touch tonight, Nick. I mean, we've watched him play for a long time, but he's moving well. He's looping at the footy, and he hasn't really been able to get on the scoreboard, obviously, until then. But he looks in really good form and really good touch. And he's a good opponent, Rance, but he might be in trouble. Might have just been winded.
That's vintage Revolt.
That's 1v3.
And I mean, the goal's fantastic as well. The other positive is the way Kosicki's flying for the ball. He's reading the ball exceptionally well in the air, and it's obviously a goal, but it's a mark nonetheless. Both the tall timbers up and about.
So back in the middle. Remarkably, St Kilda in front. Against all the trends, really. Jones to the quiet Hayes. Goes back over the shoulder. Gilbert. Goddard, so running up a few possessions there. Montagna, Revolt, full-chested. Characteristically took the mark, plays on. Gilbert, wonderful kick. And the mark is taken by Cripps. Well, they say there's no iron team, but I tell you what, there's an iron win and there's an iron Revolt. And that could be the deal tonight.
What they're doing really well, St Kilda, is working their way around. When they go forward, they know there's probably going to be an extra Richmond player in the middle of the 50-metre arc. So they're sort of spreading, either Revolt's coming up to the 50-metre line or they're going to the opposite flank to just work their way through. They know what Richmond trying to do. They're countering it.
Cripps, the boy from East Fremantle, tugs it left. Increases the lead. But looking at the possession count, and bearing in mind St Kilda touched the ball a lot in that exchange right there, 161 to 127. So the Tigers have had so much of the football. Jack's been in form, and they find themselves down.
17 inside 50s for 6-6, so they're scoring almost every time they're going forward.
A little bit of danger, but Foley quickly onto it. Cool to go, Foley. Sweeps it over the top. Next 5 minutes critical here for Richmond because they've been so good, and yet they find themselves behind. And St Kilda with some confidence. Marich at half-back. He's done his bit again tonight. He's been good. And that's a well-directed kick and time kick to Hooley. Important link player, Hooley. Normally pretty good with the ball in hand. Kicks his beauty out wide.
Play on!
Deledio. And then Deledio, that's not a great kick. Simpkin goes to ground. Well played, Jack Revolt to King. Arches his back. Oh, Jake's having one of those sort of nights. Nahas, still Robbie. Gets down low. Handball back. Coughs it up. Montagna coughs it up. Martin coughs it up. It's a hard footy to get hold of. Martin goes and fetches his own ball. Gilbert's in there, Montagna's in there, Foley's in there, and with him is Graham. It is a bit of ping-pong stuff. Jake King's normally good at that. Revolt on the bottom of that, then Armitage, and it's a ball up. He's clever, Revolt, isn't he?
Face the footy.
Almost disaster for St Kilda on that occasion. Revolt was out of position. The Saints players had line of play, but 50-50 now.
Saints by 5 points. Armitage at close quarters to Blake. Finds a way through. Well played. Releases Ray. Looping hand pass. Malira went to ground. That's dangerous. Hooley wheels it back in. So's that. Down goes Malira. Almost fell on the football. Rance is back immediately. Gets a fitness test and gets a free kick. An emerging star, Alex Rance. Total package. Conker, Batchelor, Morris. They work it to the outer side. Hooley has run on. Gee, that's hard running. Griggs got it now inside the centre square. He ignores Hooley. Goes long down towards full forward. Revolt! Oh, Revolt! He stepped around a defender as if he wasn't there. And not once for a split second did he lose concentration on the footy. That is an innate skill.
Well, what he's done the last half of the last quarter last week and tonight, it's like he's ignoring his opponents and going at the footy. He plays much better when he does that. Disengage.
Point blank range. Tasmania is pulsating. Through it goes. Revolt's got his third.
A sensational mark, perfectly described by Dennis. I mean, he had to change direction, maintained his concentration. As Lee said, it's like he's not worried about the defender. He's just going to attack the ball in the air. And we saw him here a couple of years ago when he sort of emerged on a Friday night and had this incredible match. And tonight he's on for anything here.
What a transformation, though, Bruce. A few weeks ago, he was really struggling for form. Came late last week. Look at this.
I mean, this is taking the ball at the highest point, but what's really impressive was the footwork he's done before taking that mark. Their short steps, getting bounced. You just see it there and then launch.
Well, in his last 2.5 quarters, that's the last quarter last week, and tonight, 11 kicks, 8 goals for Jack Revolt. He's in absolutely sparkling form. Montagna got it from Saad, and that kick just not enough on it. Rance overran it. He's back on Kaczynski for the moment. Batchelor to Hooley. High tackle against Ray. What a terrific first half we're seeing here. This is a really good game. Big build-up. And these two teams are delivering right now. Hurley at half-back. Kicks the ball down the line. Gilbert at the back, almost. Some high flying tonight. Gilbert back to Goddard. Nunes. Not a great handball. Dempster, Nunes to Gwilt. And then Gwilt, okay to Simpkin. Simpkin, who's had a big job tonight on Jack Revolt. And then that's a funny old kick. Jack was able to put the pressure on Nahas. Ball coming back to Ellis. Sweeping the handball. Conker goes to the pocket. Nahas in a good spot.
Thanks, Aaron.
Now, he's a bit like Milne. He likes to run around a bit, Nahas.
I don't think he's a powerful kick,
No.
so this is going to take a 55-metre carry. You see whether he's got the ball tends to go through the air long distances, and Eddie had more than most.
He's a winder-upper, isn't he? He's a bit. He's a bit around the corner like Stevie, but he'll wind himself up and see how much he can get on it. He's pushing hard and belted through for behind.
I mean, Richmond have been very impressive at most facets of the game, but they've only had 10 tackles. I mean, normally you should be averaging 15 to 20 per quarter, so their defensive part of their game to stop St.Kilda's flow has been very poor.
Goddard brings it in. Oh, not to good effect. Ellis goes up and takes a very good mark. Plays on from the ground, goes to Foley. Touched off the boot, though. Martin's got it. Back to Foley. Feeds it back inside the centre square. Batchelor gave it to Vickery. Still inside the centre square. This guy can kick it a long way. Bellowoods full forward from Griffiths. Off hands. Will be a goal out of mid-air. Edwards. He's got 2.
I must say, Dennis, when Griffith unloaded from about 70 metres out, I was looking for the goal umpire because he didn't quite make it. He kicked it about 68 metres. But, gee, he can kick the ball. Have a look at this when he unloads. Well inside the centre square, and but the Richmond got the numbers at the fall of the ball.
Well, I reckon, Lee, also that, as we said, the St.Kilda coaching staff and players would have scouted, and they would have seen the ball in Griffith's hand going, this is going long, and all of a sudden, as a key defender in that situation, you go, geez, I'm under the pump here, and that's just an opportunistic goal.
It's hard for players to expect a 70-metre kick, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're sort of coming, it's coming longer than your subconscious thinks it will.
Edwards has averaged about half a goal a match. He's kicked 7 in the last 3 weeks, and he has been really important to them. And tonight with 2 first-half goals. Dos Santo kicks to half-forward. Oh, Cozzy, big fly. Saad quickly on, overran it. Rance got back. Nick Revolt, clever toe poke. Saad back to Revolt. Batchelor onto him in a hurry, and Morris stood up so well to Foley running with a bounce. So the Tigers have enjoyed a good 5 minutes. Cochin, Goddard. Cochin strong through the hips. Blake couldn't quite reflex it. And then Ray's handball is good. Saad, Dalcetto was on the wrong side, unfortunately for the Saints. And all the numbers back with Griffiths. And the mark paid.
To mark to Griffith first.
Seen less paid.
He won't have a shot from here, Lee, will he?
He's only about 50 metres too far from goal.
The opposite square, though, a few defenders are twitching. Ball on the outer side. In the back, will it be a free kick to the Saints? No, it's going the other way. Barnes getting it.
I think the Saints justifiably agree with that mark. There's been a little bit of inconsistency with that tonight.
Hayes 7 possessions, Del Santo 10, Stephen 9. worrying. Tuck falling to the ground. Armitage feeds it back. Jones sweeps it wide. Goddard bouncing on his toes. Short one. Kazitsky, runner inside. Armitage from 70 metres out. Backing back is Mill. Dangerous situation for Morris. Out of mid-air. Saad arrived and gets his third. Should have been a free kick to Stevie anyway. Gee, Mill not very happy. That had to be a free kick, surely. But Saad is ever the opportunist. Some guys have got that sense of getting a goal, and he knows how to poach one, Bruce.
He sure does. In fact, we've got Edwards at one end and Saad at the other in this quarter. Some very smart little players out there tonight in the forward halves for both teams.
It's a pulsating game of footy.
The speed's amazing, isn't he, Saad, just to get there?
I think there's a review on here. I mean, it looks a clear goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a short one, Bruce.
Yeah.
Up to 40 seconds.
Now they're happy with it, so it'll be a goal.
It's all clear for goal, yeah.
So I just heard there was a review, whether or not they felt it was above the knee or whether on the knee or even a touch with his hands. That's a goal. So Saad's got 3. And St Kilda needed that because Richmond had dominated the last 5 or 6 minutes after the Saints had had a terrific little patch between that. So topsy-turvy match. Martin, Marriage, Foley, that deep midfield. Blake getting back. Revolt nearly snatched it off him. Good give, though, by Dempster. Newnes and Gilbert, well, he was just absolutely mugged there by Revolt. He just went to water, Gilbert.
That was that centre square clearance. All 4 of the Richmond centre square players touched the ball to extricate it.
Often before the game, Lee, you see the midfields go through their drills, and it is like that. But this is, I mean, this is the confidence.
You're going to lose it. You'll lose the
as I said, they haven't had many tackles. That's only their 12th one, but it's a good place to get one.
Listen to me. Just do yourself a favour. Walk away.
Please, stay clear.
So Revolt with a chance to kick his 5th goal before half-time. He has kicked 10. We know that against the Eagles. He'll be halfway there if he can drill this home. And the way he's been going this quarter, no doubt, and he does. He's got 5, and Richmond lead by 8 points. Gee, Gilbert had to be a bit stronger there.
Yeah.
Had to have greater awareness, first and foremost.
So here's Milne a short time ago, bottom right.
Case to answer for, I think.
Bit of forearm.
Yes, I think it was also a fair bit of making the contact visible, making the contact visible. But still, there was contact by the look of it.
Simulation. That's the word, isn't it? Didn't we decide on simulation?
Simulation.
Well, he's on tonight, Jack Weirod, isn't he? Just exciting when he's really jumping at the ball like he is tonight.
Back in the middle. So Alex Rance trying to marshal the troops, just get them back into position. Hayes, slick hands. Ray out of the congestion, floats it inside the forward 50. Rance knew what he was talking about, got a hand in there as well. Tracks the ball, Revolt, slick. Goddard, open goal. The Revolts are putting on a clinic.
He didn't kick a goal there or touch it, but Saad's presence there, just his pace, absolutely unnerved the defence. He was the one that created a little bit of chaos down back, and then the ball came free. And I mean, Jack Revolt's unbelievable. Nick Revolt's not playing a bad game. I mean, he just missed a few, hasn't he, that Jack's got. But and I think Goddard's been just terrific tonight.
You'd love to see both Revolts playing in the same side, but you've got Jack out of the square and Nick across half forward.
I quite like them on opposite ends tonight.
Here's the pressure there by Saad, just creating a contest.
Just the uncertainty, isn't it, at ground level?
What about the athleticism there of Nick Revolt? 6'5" in the old off the bootlaces.
Inspired by the cousin.
Yeah.
Well, he might be second cousin tonight, but he's a very good second cousin. No question about that. Newman gets it from Morris. What a wonderful quarter. It's 5-2 to 5-1 this quarter. Nahas to Edwards. He's kicked a couple. Gee, had it a long time. Back to Tuck. And then Tuck off a step to half forward. In the front was Dempster. Gilbert. Well, again under pressure. And Dalsano looked to get a high one from Nahas, and he did. Gee, Gilbert's nervy, isn't he?
Yep.
not fantastic in close quarters, like when there's another body within arm's reach. He sometimes, the coordination, he looks he can make mistakes. He likes it when he's got a bit of space to work in.
Move it on. Play on.
So Graham at half-back, down the line. Nick Revolt pushed out of it. Batchelor. Back to Newman, who often plays that position Lee talked about earlier, that couple of kicks behind the play. Deledio. Cotchin and Martin. And then Martin just cleverly. Deledio, Martin, cut off though by Milne. He's done well, Milne. And then a squeezy kick. Goddard, is that 50? No. And the advantage is given. And they're on here. Malira's going to kick a goal. And they're going to be in front again, the Saints. Bang! Into the second row. What a half a footy.
I think it's the best we've seen this season, Bruce. What do you reckon?
Well, coaches don't like high-scoring games, so when you get 8 goals apiece, they're leading into half-time, because both coaches would be thinking, well, we're scoring, but our defensive mechanisms aren't working. We're being scored against a little too easily, but certainly it's been an exciting game for us spectators.
And the good players are to the fore, aren't they?
Yeah. And the ball is just bouncing up and down. As I mentioned, it's been a low tackling game because the ball is just moving all the time.
Just for their well-being too, I hope a few Docker supporters have tuned in tonight. Seen a few goals kicked, you're back in form, so
You're editorialising, do you?
No, not really, no. Got to win games of footy. But at the same time, this is sweet, isn't it, this stuff? Stephen, hurried kick out of the middle. Deledio, very quiet until a few moments ago. Got busy. Tuck, in trouble, just slams it on the fist. Gatterboyd's half forward, gets it back again. Deledio from King, goes long towards full forward. Another lead change. How about that? Deledio, until a few moments ago, just 2 possessions, and now he's raced up to about 7 for the quarter.
It's the transferring of the football from end to end. It's just been exhilarating. I mean, it's just the way you'd love footy to be played. I mean, sometimes we get these congested games of footy where the ball doesn't move much, but there just seems to be so much space for players to move into.
If you didn't, I mean, that was Goddard like. That's what I talked about with Deledio.
Yeah,
just running it, just even the way he ran and banged the goal. Shouldn't be comparing him with anyone.
No,
he's a brilliant player.
Very talented players. Very, very talented players.
Well, if this happens in the last quarter, we've got a lot to look forward to, haven't we?
He was the automatic bloke you tagged for Richmond. Now probably his second or third, Deledio.
Well, it's been a pulsating first half. Cotchin brilliantly out of the centre, and then Grigg quickly onto the boot, and Graham and Jackson size one another up with Dempster and Jack Revolt. Heard all of that. Well, it's impossible to believe we could have fitted anything more into a half of football. It was the full Monty, and Jack Revolt's kicked 5, and at half-time, in the big game of this round on a Friday night, it's 60-62. The Tigers by 2 points over the Saints.
Jack, the pick of them. Second half. Roof is closed. Friday night football, so much to play for. Marriage on the way down, hooked it down. Ricochets across to Cotchin. Generally uses the ball well. Back goes Revolt. Loose at the back. Martin hurriedly on the boot. Kicked it directly in front of his body, and through it goes for a behind, and Wilt, wasting no time, brings it in, goes to Armitage. Armitage around the outer side. Clever kick, took something off it. Finds Gilbert, cruising past his Ray. They've got the spare man on the outer side. Montagna came back to Ray, to Goddard. Could they go end to end? They may well do. Revolt gets on the end of it. This is Nick. Moments ago, Jack was up for the mark at the opposite end.
It's been play on footy at its best, hasn't it? Both sides have been prepared to play the footy, give the hand pass to the runner, so the ball just moves from end to end. It's so hard for defences when that happens.
Well, maybe we should outlaw tackling. There goes the short one over the head of Armitage. Well, that came unglued badly. He was just on the edge of his range. Rance gives it to Foley. Runs outside the defensive 50.
Did pretty well in the end, Foley. Just teased a bit. And now Richmond able to transition the footy. Conker looking to widen it a bit. Now Newman on the right side for him. Martin held his ground. Conker followed it up. Newman sweeps it. Martin always confident eluding the tackler and then drills the ball to full forward. Edwards, revolt. Graham held the handball up, put Newnes under big pressure. Nahas back to Jackson, back to Nahas, who's just like Stevie Milne, and gets it home. It's a goal.
Gotta say, Bruce, I'm a big fan of Robbie Nahas, and I think young Newnes has got a big job. Too many tricks, I think Robbie just turned him inside out there and came back and kicked what was, in the end, a pretty easy goal.
Wasn't a great handball coming back out either by the Saints, was it?
No. But he's a man you finesse against at your peril. Yeah. I mean, just play the basics, try and get across and get it back for a behind or out of bounds.
So good start to the Tigers here.
Richmond pressure, wasn't it? We mentioned they didn't tackle much. Well, they got the pressure on then, created the goal.
It's a very good small forward, Robbie Nahas. That was a good snap. Under no real pressure. One down by Marriage. Again, Cochin seems to like going this way. In the action again, he started brilliantly across half back. Run it out. The ball comes towards Dempster, whose kick was charged down. He'd got it from Jones. Still dangerous situation, though. Well played by Tuck to Deledio. Nahas turns around. Open goal beckons. Goes in and misses. Gee, that would have hurt them. That would have really hurt. 10 points the difference. Tigers with their biggest lead of the night. 10-10, 9-6. And certainly on balance of play, they should be a long way further in front.
Shaky start for the Saints here. A little bit like the first quarter, to be honest. They felt like Richmond had a chance to be 3 or 4 goals in front early, and they missed them. So Montagna, that's a careful slow kick again. Gee, young Newnes been asked a bit of, and then again a cough up. And Richmond get to Foley, looks up. Not a good kick. Cochin searching. Brilliantly played Cochin, and then Grigg kicks the ball to full forward and builded away by Graham.
Got such a great awareness, Cochin, and Martin's the same. They can sense the tackler on their back, and they're going into their evasive movement just by sensing the tackler.
So Gilbert certainly out positioned by Marriage.
Yeah, just the throw there was looking to palm it down with 2 hands and realised I'm uncontested, I'm going to mark it, and then just got caught in 2 minds.
Yeah, good call. Richo?
The Saints are really throwing their forward line around. Cossey's back down there now, but they're really trying to create a mobile forward line, and Richmond has got to be on their toes here. Sard's getting in behind them.
Jones got it from a teammate in Dempster. Chopped off, though, by Newman. Foley goes back. Conker's got it now. Thought about going all the way back to Morris. In trouble. Goes half that distance. Taken by Rance. There's Morris. Thought of half back. That was a dangerous kick. Charged down by Goddard. Griffiths did well. Look at the pace of Morris. Came away quickly. Goes short to centre. Jackson flirted with the idea of playing on. Gives it across to Ellis. Thumping kick down towards the pocket. Vickery goes up one-handed. Falls to the side of the pack. Newnes taken. Across it came to Graham. Play on's the call. As he kicked, Martin was pushed. Affected the kick. Del Santo comes away. Kicks it over the head of Hooley. He tracks back. Sard coming up to meet him. Well done, Sard. Applied a tackle. Fed back to Griffiths. Across to Deledio. Quick hand pass to Jackson. Taken down by Graham. Holding the ball. Hayes will take advantage. Spots a man out wide. Now Malera can run inside the 50 and can kick a goal. Take it on, son. Well, it's a nondescript kick to the square. Off hands and across the line for a behind.
I was going to say, Lee had some great vision of that where it was just indecision from Malera. Off the ball here, Nick Revolt had the whole right-hand side of the screen to work. He just had to honour the lead.
He wasn't confident that he could kick from anywhere near the 50-metre line.
And think of Nick Revolt earlier in this quarter. I mean, 2 real chances they've had. Missed the target, and as Dennis so aptly described, I mean, it was not one or the other there from Malera. So the kick to half forward for the Tigers. Newnes has had a really, really nervy quarter. Gilbert's had a nervy night. Jack Revolt, one hand. Well done there by Blake, but only to Gilbert, and then Newnes again. The youngsters having a baptism of fire tonight now. Now Dempster off a step. Goddard's been terrific and with courage got back. Switches to D'Alessandro, put him under the pump. D'Alessandro held up, and in the end, I think they were happy with the end result. Just hanging on, aren't they, St Kilda? It's been the story of the night. They've been a half a goal or a goal and a half behind for so much of the evening.
You're right, Bruce. The margin just seems bigger, doesn't it? Only 9 points, but it seems that it's a bit of a chasm at the moment. Martin feeds it back. Grigg. Deledio hard against the boundary line. High ball, All Saints back there. Dropped by Blake. Portent of bad things, perhaps. Back it comes from Blake. Picked up there by Dempster. Wilt comes away. Awkward bouncing footy, well taken by Cripps. Bursts away from half-back. Releases Ray. Ray with a telling kick. Beautiful mark taken by Kosecki right on the 50. What a lovely kick it was from Farron Ray.
His confidence up at the moment. Justin Kosecki came out that and really clunked it. And when his confidence is high, he slots this one.
So the litmus test for his confidence, if nothing else, according to Tom. It'll take a good kick, Tommy. 55 metres. Kosecki winds up. Kick is on the way. Tom Harley. No, you don't get genius status, but close. Off hands and through for a minor score.
It's a better effort from the one from 10 metres out, wasn't it?
Yes.
In hindsight, brave to call it from 55.
Richard?
I reckon.
Yeah, feature of both teams tonight is their defenders prepared to roll off their man and come up and pick the loose man up in front of them. Both teams do it so well.
Gee, that's a good mark.
Stay there.
Deledio on Jones there. A one-on-one contest.
Move it on.
Delidio's goal before half-time put the Tigers in front. Ooh. Gee, well done by King.
Good body strength.
Collector Jones is a hard man in his own right. Deledio gets it back, runs from Martin, kicks to half forward. Gilbert belts it down. Gwilt versus Jackson. Gwilt just got rid of him, well done, and then Jackson butted up well. Ray, Gwilt, left footer on the wrong side for him. And boundary throw in. There's Jones collected up the front. Angelo Dundee. Bundini Brown used to do the patchwork for Angelo Dundee with Muhammad Ali. They need somebody there right now. Stephen, there's a lot of information there, I know. Goddard to Hayes, and I'm showing my age. And coughed up, and Newman gets hold of it.
Newman across half back then. Comes to Morris. Chip pass, they've got the extra number. They've got men everywhere. Grigg comes out wide. Nahas. Simpkin trying to corral him. Nahas takes him on. That was holding the man, surely. Apparently not. We'll have a boundary throw in.
What it's really done in the Richmond forward line, St Kilda defenders just all changed opponents to make sure that extra spare player was eventually covered by the rotating defence.
The irony there was Simpkin was more than happy to give up the free kick. There's Grigg. Wonderful effort there by Armitage. Holding the ball. Advantage is taken by the Saints. Stephen gets it across to Hayes. Need more from that pair. Revolt. Oh, how was that for a tackle? He climbed him close to the boundary line. Hayes feeds it back to Armitage. Kicks inside the forward 50. Did not look. Newman doesn't drop those. Some players do. Not the skipper. Short to Hooley. How about that tackle? Forward of the wing. Malera.
He looked like Koala Bear, didn't he?
Malera's coming off. I think he's tapped out. As the ball goes towards the outer side, Jake King.
And again, they spread so well, Richmond. And Blake went to ground, and that's dangerous. Nahas has had 2 shots on goal in this quarter and kicked 1. 3 running bounces, 4 running bounces. He's got options galore. Kicks to centre half forward, and Ivan Maric holds his ground and takes the mark.
Oh, the speed of the ball carry, both sides. Saad up one end for St Kilda's been able to carry the footy, and Nahas certainly can. Let's have a look. He just looked like a koala bear on a tree. just legs around as well.
So Maric straight in front, and he gets it home, and Richmond get a big break. Well, the transition footy for both has been exceptional, but once Blake fell over, it was curtains.
Yep. That was an amazing tackle by Jackson and Malera. Just wonder, had Malira taken that shot when he ran inside the 50, could have been different. Saints need something now to lift them.
Here's the Saints turnover. It's Chris Newman, the captain, who sets up. Well, just a quick question to Richo. Who's been responsible for the defensive structures down there, Richo?
Oh, it's Ross Smith, who they got across from Hawthorn in the summer. He's in charge of defensive mechanisms all over the ground, not just in the back 50.
Last 3 goals, the first time tonight to the one side, the Tigers. Short one from Montagna down towards half forward. Malira grabs it. Off hands, goes to Armitage, who's been terrific. Back to Montagna, down towards half forward. Mark is taken by Cripps over the head of 2 players down there, Morris and Milne. The first back was Milne. Sard slung by Griffiths, and the ball goes out of bounds. It was a psychological win on the outer side, that collision too between Jones and Jake King. Maybe Jones just about the toughest man, kilo for kilo, on the Saints side. And Jake knew he'd done well. He took a peek back over the shoulder. Just a word for Jake. Lee Matthews never looked back. There's Martin in the back pocket. He knew what he'd done. Ball goes out of bounds on the outer side. We'll have a free kick out there to be taken by the Saints.
Uncharacteristic kick by Martin. So Nunes, just 4th game tonight. First season player. Sets it up to full forward. Can Cozzy get a run at it? Revolt was waiting. Goddard searching. Can't get an effective handball away. These are good signs for Richmond. They're holding up well. Edwards to Nahas to Morris, who's been impressive. The kick out wide, and gee, how good was Cochin there, and he drew 2 to him and held his ground, and it was the Saints that came up a little wounded, wasn't it?
We can definitely now mention the F word, but can we mention the P word? Tommy?
Not just yet.
Oh, okay.
Dan.
Ellis has kicked forward. Marriage. Nahas, a real problem at the moment. And bang! Well, they've cut them open, haven't they? They've sliced them up now.
Some blokes you can't let get touches, and they let Nahas have some early touches in this quarter. Just have to stop them getting the football, and the minute they get their tails up, they're tough.
Just at the top of screen here, you see Alex Rance on Nick Revolt. That's fantastic defensive work from mine. Nothing untoward about that. Just blocked him and took Nick Revolt out of the forward play.
Up early. Kaczynski's kick. Justin's kick. You were up and down before the ball came to you. Play on.
Good explanation from the umpire. Kaczynski, long bomb then. Nick! Oh, good mark! Ricky Ponting would have been proud of that one. I know he's a Northman, but he missed it, then he got it again.
He does this every now and again, Rance, where he's just so keen to establish body contact. He loses position of where the ball is, and he's completely outbodied.
Jack goalless in this term. In comes Nick at the other end, gets his second. Back come the Saints.
So a great reply. Matty Richardson, down to you.
Yeah, there's been a sub for the Saints. Cripps has gone out of the game with a hamstring injury, and Sipos has come in.
Well, that was the goal they had to get. It was a fantastic effort. I mean, his hands might have been slightly in the back of Rance, but just the slips catch in the end.
Any forward loves it when there's just a long kick out of the centre square, because all of a sudden the defender is sort of half watching the ball, half watching his opponent. He gets virtually no help from his other defenders because they all have to be conscious of their direct opponents. Centre square clearance is really penetrating.
So there's Cripps off, and Revolta, we talked a lot about his kicking tonight, and that he had to goal, and he did. So he's kicked a couple, he's played so well. Marriage, well done. Grigg getting the ball forward. Blake in that back half, just ripped off it by King. Nahas has been such a star. High tackle, surely. He's like honey, he's just drawing the bees to him at the moment.
They got the matchup wrong at the start of the quarter, and they've been trying to play catch-up ever since.
He's had 3 shots on goal. He's created another. He's been the man of the second half as he kicks the ball to the pocket. Blake belts it away, and St Kilda get the ball out of play.
Really finding the challenges that Kilda have in their back half at the moment without the likes of Fisher there, because all the players are actually rolling over. There's no consistency of match-up, and when you're a defender, you like to spend the same amount of time on the one player to build some confidence and work into the game.
Marich there just bullying Kosicki out of the road. Won it too easily. They try and work it forward. Jack's in there.
Jack, thank you.
Armitage to the base of that. He's been a valiant trier. Just one man forward to the centre. Sorry, Luke.
I say they've got a good setup here, Richmond, to make sure that if St Kilda get it, they've really got nowhere to go on the way out.
Marich again beats Gilbert this time, but knocks it very wide to the pocket, which favours the Saints. Montagna comes back to Hayes to the outer side. Saad was up, nothing doing. Rushed across the line by Hooley. Saad pleads his case. Boundary throw in.
Did pretty well there, though, Saints, because Richmond pressing so hard forward. Marich again. Jones back on there. Patched up. Edwards handball. Oh, Armitage got a high one. He saw it coming.
Let him up. What's the high tackle?
Got down low. Called to play on. Now he takes a while, Armitage, and he's kicking it as far as he can. Can Gilbert make a contest? Saad's at the back. He's kicked 3 goals tonight, Saad. And that one just across, just floating in the end.
So we've seen the value of the quick small forward tonight. Whenever the ball breaks into space, both teams have got a couple. Really valuable. A few of the injured Saints up there.
Yep.
McAvoy, Fisher.
Geary. We've done with Sam tonight. We were talking about perhaps it overcome his absence in recent weeks, but I found it tough defending tonight, particularly in the first half. Not sure he would have been the man to go under Nahas in this quarter. Here's Grigg. What an acquisition. Kicks long towards the wing. Nobody touched the football in flight. King leads back, takes it across the boundary line, so we've got a throw in. Rival coaches. Scott Wattish, Subiaco. Sacramental player. Took Subi to 2 premierships in Western Australia. Hardwick knows all about premierships. Essendon, Port Adelaide, close to the boundary line. Montagna in trouble, goes back to Gwilt. And there is Tuck. Scramble.
See Gilbert in the ruck. I mean, St Kilda, of course, they're into part-time ruck on Kosicki's side, so Blake is out of the rucks. I don't think Gilbert ever rucked before, I suspect.
Yep. So Grigg forward. Well done there by Jackson in the front of Goddard in the high tackle. Blake just rushing in on Edwards.
Over your mark. Just watch the high tackle.
So Edwards, she just too tall for Alice Malera. Now Milne will look up. Now Del Santo's the hard runner, but Milne has waited and waited. He may have to go short to Jones or Malera.
Great defensive running there by Conker, and also Cochin to push to cut off the uncontested ball.
Batchelor had a bit of it. Griffiths, but he handballs as far as he kicks it. Ellis, Grigg running hard. Now King and Gwilt. King sets himself. Gwilt just off interchange. Sipos is the sub on. So Milne, well done. Sipos running hard. That's a good kick. Gives Revolt half a chance. And Newman coming across and out of play.
Just been so impressed with the discipline, and particularly Chris Newman. He's the captain. Love watching him play, playing that almost 2 kicks behind the ball. So often you'll see a player behind the ball want to really join up and get in amongst it, but quite clearly he's got coach's instructions and he's playing it to an absolute treat.
Tigers need to hold here. Grigg knocked it down. Montagna smothered off the boot. Newman hard against the boundary, under pressure, and as far as Goddard. If they get the next goal, it's back to 7 points. The Saints just skirting the perimeter now. They can scent that they're gaining the upper hand in what's been a tug-of-war. Drives it long down towards full forward. Malera, well, he stayed out of the contest. It's off hands and through for a minor score. I would have liked him to fly. I'm not sure what he's like overhead.
You know, I reckon he's going to fly, but Rance was good enough and smart enough to come off Rewalt, and actually didn't, and therefore he didn't have a chance to jump.
Descent.
Yeah, so descent, so that 50-metre penalty, and then Jones surely holding the footy. So Jack revolt from one revolt to another one, and then the high one on Jack. But
the intensity is just outstanding at the moment from both sides, really cracking in.
So revolt's kicked to half forward. King the target. Stephen courageously got back, and then gets a high tackle. And not paid.
Yes, every now and again there was this talk of football being sanitised in the modern era. I mean, it is tougher, more ballistic than it's ever been.
Yep.
Gee, when you say that, Lee, we do listen. Jackson, Tuck, Montagna, and then Armitage.
Very high ball around the outer side. Griffiths! Oh, what a good mark.
Thanks, Nick.
His battle injury, this young man, was very impressive last week against the Hawks. And how is that for a confident mark? And when the game calls for it as well, goes short. Vickery comes on the lead. He's got it 60 metres out. Nearly a full house at Etihad Stadium. That's a dangerous kick. Hooley put to ground. Martin stood up in a tackle, goes to Batchelor. Under pressure. Managed to get boots of ball. Malira. He's had a strange night tonight. Now he gets 50. He's going to overtake Conker.
Didn't call play on.
He could have surged up the ground there and got a play on call, perhaps. The umpire now sets the mark. There goes the kick down towards the pocket. Nick Revolt punched away again by Griffiths. Moments ago, he had the ball at right half forward. We like this young man.
He's 200 centimetres. That's ruckman size. So, I mean, there's very few defenders that are actually agile enough at that height. He'd be a good player if he can beat that.
So Marriage gets it down. Hayes. Sard, great smother by Hurley. Jones on the left, touched off the boot. Rance concedes. St Kilda pressing here. They've had the last few shots. They've got that margin down to under 2 goals. But you still feel like Richmond has dominated a lot of this match tonight. It's been puncher versus counter-puncher.
Well, it's Rance. Classic battle that's been down there. He and Revolt. Just impossible to negotiate with Eric Rance, or rather young Rance, as the ball goes down towards full forward Alex. And the mark is taken by Batchelor. So Batchelor, around 20 metres out from his own defensive goal square. Goes for distance. High ball. Blake. Oh, that's got to be a free kick to Marriage. Untidy by Gilbert. Gilbert hasn't had the best of nights. Marriage is going to have the football down 50. Well, there can't be any doubting whose kick it was. Blake pretending, I think, that he didn't know whose ball it was. Marriage was involved in the contest initially. Runs to his mark, kicks inside the 50, off hands. Nunes gets the football well played, comes away. And it's going to be a relayed free kick down the ground. The kick will go to Gilbert.
Showed a bit of guts in him tonight, hasn't he? Been under so much pressure. I mean, he's been often outplayed, but he has not given up, the youngster.
I was involved with Jack Nunes in the ASAFL Academy and just had really nice poise, a really good kid. Big things, I reckon.
And Sam Gilbert tonight has been really shaky under pressure. That kick into the heart of the centre square. Jones on the up. Gets it to Noon. Running hard. Straight at goal. Dribbling it and just missing. And the Saints suddenly getting a string of behinds running here. Same number of scoring shots. 10-12 to 12-10. Quick transition.
Yours.
Ellis, 18 years of age. Good kick. Jake King so combative tonight. Best illustrated with the Jones hit at half-back earlier in this quarter.
Hurley has it. Milne got an early goal, but G. Morris has done a good job back there. This is Conker up from the back pocket, short to Batchelor. Now Batchelor normally a good kick, runs through the centre square. Cochin's on the move. Kick goes wide of that man though, but what a very good kick it was nevertheless. Revolt's taken the mark. He knew which one to go to. Revolt the short one to Cochin. So eventually he finishes up with a football. Now this is not beyond him. But what a huge kick it is, not only in the context of this game, but maybe in the Tigers season. Trent Cochin. The crowd, those Tiger supporters in the crowd take a collective breath, and he hits the post. In keeping with the game tonight, it remains on a night's edge.
It's a great kick, wasn't it? He just kicked it to the left-hand goal post. It just drifted so late. St Kilda with not a lot of wriggle room late in this third quarter. Goddard's long ball out.
On his arm.
Cossey's been pretty good. He's had a very good season. That's a good kick to Noons. Well done by King. Free kick though.
Held himself back then, didn't he?
There, Jake. Front on contact.
He could feel a 50 coming on, Jake, couldn't he?
No doubt about that.
But no, I won't do that. Squares it to Gwilt. Now, can the Saints construct a goal here and bring it back to a one-kick match? Simpkin, he's got a couple of options. He's got Ray in the centre. Now, Ray can switch it to Blake. Can he get it out here? He takes his time. They're all covered.
Well,
twisting and turning, yep. Corralled him. Now, Nick Revolt. Still with Revolt. Kick down the line. Sipos will get it. He does. Good mark. But they've had to go very wide, haven't they? And quite slowly wide.
This kid's a beautiful kick, though.
Good enough from him?
I wouldn't say that, Bruce, but if he goes for the goal, he'll give it a shake, I reckon.
Tigers, sorry, Bruce, because the Tigers really need to concentrate here on the short chip kick in. Force him to kick the ball from this one.
Well, that is a brilliant kick right to the goal front. And it was working back, but it's a behind. So 5 consecutive behinds here to the Saints. Tigers have got one in the meantime.
They were fantastic with their kickings last week, Richmond, but St Kilda have really held them. Held them with no real attacking penetration from their kickings mostly tonight.
Get over the zone this time. Rance takes the mark. Leon's the call. We're down to 30 seconds. Should be a pulsating last quarter. Strong mark there taken by Dempster. So Dempster right at the interchange gates. 83 plays 73. Drives it back inside the forward 50. Revolt got hands to it. Falls to Hayes. Lays it off to Sipos. Sipos snaps this time. And just misses again.
1-8, Dennis, to 3-3 in this quarter. Saints 1-8. After the Tigers just dominated the first few minutes of this quarter. So it's set up perfectly, isn't it? I mean, the front runners hold the lead, but St Kilda have been very hard. Scotty Waters after this. It's 83-74 on a Friday night at Etihad. Jack Revolt.
As you call that, I mean, because Revolt's been the match winner, but they're getting killed in the ruck anyway, so you might as well just have someone who can compete a bit.
So it's Cossey to do it early. The big margin in the match, 20 points, so the Saints able to get it back. Sard's been very good. Gilbert on the wrong side for him. Nick Revolt, well done. Rance is as good as a kick. Belts it away. Tuck running hard against Hayes. Ball comes out to Ray. Gilbert down low. Clever handball. Sipos has been handy since he's come on. Building the ball for Nick Revolt. Almost. Gee, had a fair bit of it. Del Santo. Sard versus Morris. Morris is as quick as Sard, but Sard brilliantly done. Can't quite get it out. And in the end, the umpire says even a very, very clever young player only gets a certain amount of time to release the footy.
Took a lot of Richmond players to actually nail him. He is quick and light and sort of very agile on his feet, not only straight line speed.
They were like a circular firing squad. They had him surrounded, but gee, he was determined to get out of there. I'm not sure anyone really laid a tackle as the ball comes back in from Dempster. Good mark taken by Morris. Nick pleads his case again, getting disgruntled. Morris bounces one to the pocket. Griffiths gathers it nicely. Kept his head back to the run of Morris. Right on the defensive 50. Chips close to the boundary line over the head of Edwards. He's speedy, but he can't keep it in. So we have a boundary throw-in on the outer side. 83 plays 74.
Nick Maxwell spoke about the composure there. Just 2 kicks that just missed the target there. Morris has been great. It's been a great matchup on Milne, but agree with Nick 100%.
So Cossey gets rid of Marriage. Heard the umpire. Goddard's kick. Well done, Conker. Chased it hard. Griffiths. Gee, good handle, wasn't it? To release Morris like that. And now the hard-running Newman.
Play on! Play on!
The long long-suffering Newman too in so many ways, hasn't he, as the captain? Over 200 games, not a final. Back he goes. Rance is so physical, Rance. We've seen him with Revolt a lot tonight. That ball misses a target. Batchelor, they were able to work it actually pretty well. Conker's handball was a bit shaky. Batchelor was a bit shaky. Sard couldn't quite. Grigg got it over to Batchelor. And then Batchelor swings it onto the boot. Goddard versus Marriage. Marriage attacked it hard. Tucked to Marriage. Marriage back to Edwards. Edwards looking. Gang tackled. Richmond just can't quite get anything happening at the moment. Saints hold them up. Ball up.
That Richmond indecision the last couple of thrusts is that St Kilda had that extra player across half, but Newman from the mark decided to go back, so all of a sudden they've been held back in their tracks.
Edwards took a wrong turn there, right into the pack, but redeems himself cleverly. Foley lengthens things, in trouble. Conker taken down by Graham, and the umpire says no prior opportunity.
It's a hot footy there at the moment. Conker just taking his eyes off it at the last minute.
9 points the margin. Marriage in front. Kosetsky with the run. Wide of the pack, Tuck. Dragged down was Tuck. Sipos virtually hands it across to Malera. Kicks inside the forward 50 and Milne. Well, he's lowered his colours tonight to Morris, but that time did him body to body. Huge kick, this one.
He's got to watch the man on the mark here, Morris, that he doesn't jump. So Milne runs around him.
Milne drives at Goldwood, but he's offline. Minor score. Richo.
The Saints have started this quarter really well in the clearances. 3-0. Richmond have got a loose man back, but the Saints have an extra number around the stoppages, and it's helping.
Saints' last 7 scores have been behind. Stevie Milne 1 goal, 3 tonight. And quite a few rushed tonight too, the Saints, 5 of them. So King's long kick forward. Cotchin, that's a brilliant handball to Revolt. Now Jackson's a long kick. He just caressed it. So Vickery. Tom was actually talking about Vickery at 3/4 time and thinking aloud that maybe he could be the X factor, because everything he touched early turned to nothing really. I mean, he had plenty of the ball in the first quarter, 8 disposals, but a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, wasn't Cotchin's handball under pressure just to know where his teammates were, and as soon as they got forward of the congestion, then the easy kick for the lead was on.
He's got beautiful balance, Cotchin, hasn't he? I mean, his hip strength. Now, this is a massive kick for Vickery. 50 metres out. She's got it going. Have a look at that.
Oh.
That is a huge kick. That's a statement. Well, you forgive everything, Dennis, don't you, when you do that? I mean, he's had just a night, I guess, but all of a sudden he's had a really good night.
It says something about his temperament. If nothing else, he went back and he slotted that one.
Big kick, too. It's outside 50.
Career goals now for that young man. Doubt too many bigger than that.
Have a look at this. Just reminded me of blast from the past. Greg Williams about 20 years ago. Just the ability to know where your teammates are. From the middle of a pack, you find them in space.
Play restarts then. Marriage. Saints desperately need the next goal. Thwarted by the man out of the middle again. Cotchin off hands, fell in front. Half chance for Cotchin once more. By himself, trying to lift his teammates on his knees. Vickery miscued with a hand pass, trying to get back to Cotchin. Montagna chopped it off. A slick hand pass, controlled well by Ray. Keeps it into, goes to Del Santo. Rarely called his name tonight. Del Santo goes to half forward. That's got to be a free kick. Revolt, Nick.
You stop.
No advantage paid, so Nick Revolt has booted 2. The battle of the Revolts has petered out slightly since half-time.
Foley's off, subbed out, guys. Marrick in.
Foley has played a good game tonight. Revolt, long ball, and Marriage in classical style, like the ruckman of yesteryear, like Gary Dempsey going up and taking the defensive mark.
Puts himself in fantastic positions.
Rance, that's a big miss, and then he hangs on to Revolt. No free. Good strength there from Martin to Tuck in that 150th. Booming kick to a bloke, and his 100th who was being held on to. And then Jack Revolt down to Jackson. In dispute. Nahas so good. Simpkin gets him high. Really high twice. And Robbie lets him know.
Good conversation at the bottom of the pack.
Let him go.
He was conversing on the way down, if you watch this closely.
Gives it to Martin, and then Martin with a very, very, very long goal. Puts an exclamation mark early in the last quarter. It's hard to see the big stop now, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. 20 points. The next move is almost the Tigers. In as much as if they think this game is won, St Kilda still have a chance.
Kicked 6 of the last 7 goals in the match, the Tigers.
Oh, it looks won. You're quite right. But if they think it's won, 20 points is not insurmountable, Tom.
The confidence in the kicking. You take a 45-metre kick, give it to someone 50-metre out. But he's such a good, long, accurate kick, Martin. You'd always give the ball to him there.
So, Saints trail by 20. Ray out of the centre. Moon goes to ground. Batchelor takes the mark. So, Dennis, you think it's a bit like the 2-goal soccer game? It's a dangerous little lead.
It is. It's a test for the Tigers in as much as they need to press on. This is not enough, I don't think, to win them the game. Off hands, it falls behind, but they've got the run with them. The force is with them. Down goes Grigg. Gilbert stood up in a tackle. Wilt under enormous pressure. Nahas was marvellous. Moved from one man to the next. Gilbert, though, got the footy, comes to Hayes. He's the player they need to lift. Bounces off the chest of Revolt. He's got to work hard to earn a free kick. Rance has been terrific. The umpires haven't helped Nick Revolt. Ball goes out wide, taken by Stephen. Short. Del Santo tried to bluff the umpire. That's holding it surely. Well, the umpire let them play. Ball comes out wide. Stephen put the body in. Comes to Milne. Centering kick. Armitage. Armitage is 20 metres out directly in front. He's been a star tonight. He's been bowled over a few times. He's paid a hefty price for his number of possessions, but he has been probably their best midfielder.
Great body use. He just knew where the ball was going to land. He just knew his weight had to go into Hurley to just knock Hurley off the line, which he did so well.
So a big kick here. 20 points the difference. Still a heap of time. There we say it. Vintage Armitage puts it through. 81 plays 95.
Nick Revolt's important here. I mean, he's forcing the free kick on him at the moment. His competitiveness at centre-half forward, Rance, has been forced to give a couple of free kicks away. He's dug deep. It was a lovely kick by Moon coming in, control, and she was a good strong marker. One-on-one with Hooley. But it was the goal they had to get, wasn't it?
Yep.
And they do stay in touch. Every centre break now becomes vital.
Strong, but in the way the game has been set up, and I've seen that, not that one, but I've seen more forwards leading at the ball and getting it on the lead than I have almost the whole season. Happened a lot tonight.
But here's Armitage through the centre, getting a little breakaway. Goddard uses Graham. Normally a long kick, Graham, and he goes that way. Revolt being held on to surely. And that's what we talked about a moment ago.
Yep. You're not facing the footy and your arms around it.
If you're a sport like Nick Revolt and you push up at the ball all night like he has, he's taken 9 marks. It's been a fascinating battle with Alex Rance. But as the games go on and it gets deeper and deeper, when you work as hard as he does and keep moving, things do start going your way.
Well, he's had some big kicks, hasn't he, Nick? He's got it home. He's kicked 3. He's having a huge second half. And St Kilda come back hard.
Well, the Tigers now find themselves having to do one of the toughest things in football, turn on again.
I'm just wondering which of the cousins has got his nose in front again. I mean,
it's line ball, Bruce. Heads are bobbing. But if you're calling the race, Revolt wins.
Revolt went out hard and Revolt's coming home hard.
Just Nick Revolt, St Kilda captain. This has been a terrific second half. He's really leading up. We heard Richo talk about his work rate, standing up, kicking the goals. He's dragging his club along with him at the moment.
The balance is swung, but the names remain the same. That's not a contradiction. The Revolts, Jack started it earlier tonight, and now it's Nick who's trying to finish it. Back goes Newman, taken down. They're the umpire, Chris Newman, who made his debut against the Saints. Round 9 of 02. His first opponent was Brett Voss.
And Blake was in the centre bounce in the ruck work, so they've rolled the dice a little bit on Jack Riewolds's opponent, one of the other defenders.
And news for the Saints there too. Armitage came up limping. Here's Graham, beats a would-be tackler. Sipos, who should be fresh. Del Santo got in his road a little. Kick inside the forward 50. All Tigers. And going back, the mark is taken down there by Rance. What a duel that's been down there. He's lowered his colours, but he's a terrific competitor. And the game now, again, back in the balance. 8 points the difference. There's going to be a free kick. It's going against Conker. And will go to Saab. No, it's not.
It's your kick. Your kick. It's your kick. It's where it's from. It's
That's
your
right.
kick, Brendan. No, yeah.
Furthest point forward. You can see the free kick there on the right, but it will go to the man tending the mark. That's Goddard. And this will go over the top to Graham, who's a thumping kick. Graham's got the football. It'll open up for the right footer. And the hopes of both teams now will ride on this kick.
It was an interesting free kick, that one. I'm not sure who was holding who, to be honest. But St Kilda got the benefit of the umpire's call.
Graham hasn't kicked a goal this year. Distance won't be a problem. Neither will direction. He puts it through. Oh, how about this? The Saints have come storming back. Just 2 points the difference.
Well, you're so right 5 minutes ago. That 20-point lead, but St Kilda's response has been fantastic. Not sure what was going on with Conker and Saab. That was hard to pick up, but what a decisive free kick as it's turned out. I mean, Richmond were going to be released from half-back, and then suddenly the turnover, Goddard delivers, and Dennis said, Graham's a thumping kick, and he thumped it, and thumped it long and straight, and St Kilda within a kick. Great game of footy with a big ending.
All of a sudden, I think St Kilda got the momentum where they started to win the clinches a little bit. I think this the last few minutes they've been getting the ball from the crunches.
Well, Lee, this is where we were at half-time. 2-point game. Cochin got it. Hayes couldn't take it. And Cochin to fall forward. Good mark by Dempsey. That was a stunning mark. Graham, who just kicked the goal. Gilbert. Del Santo. Slow kick. Blake had to protect it. He got a bit of a high one. Montagna sweeps it to Gilbert. And then Gilbert's handball okay to Ray. Loves to run and carry Ray. Sets it up to full forward. At the back, Milne. Does he get the right bounce? Jones runs in hard at Rance. Well done, Edwards. Ellis thumps it back. Goddard attacked it. That ball's hard. Jackson and Goddard. Jackson gave it up. Del Santo normally good with ball in hand. Caresses it to full forward. Sard couldn't take it. Revolt puts a tackle on. Graham's kicked 2 goals this year within a minute. And the Saints are in front.
That was absolutely brilliant. On that occasion, it was Ellis had the ball for Richmond, and knowing the rules, you can't kick the ball towards the boundary line. He's had to bring the ball back inside. So the rules have worked a treat to keep the ball alive. Here's the kick here. And the bygone era would have gone wide to the boundary, but had to centre it up. This contact, head down here by Goddard. Just terrific contested footy.
They just keep coming up with the footy at the moment, haven't they, the last 5 minutes? St Kilda from the Dempster to Mark that started the surge from the back 50. Whenever there's a contest just this last few minutes, it's the Saints coming up with the footy.
Hasn't Dempster improved his marking since he's been playing on taller players?
That was a great mark, wasn't it? Time with the lead tonight. St Kilda 8 minutes. Richmond 98 minutes. Trying to force his way out of the middle there was Blake. Went to ground. Spills towards Malera. Taken by Jones at the feet of Graham. He's playing inspired football. Bounces it inside the 50. Coming up to meet the ball with Sard. Putting the body in Malera. Picked up by Jackson. Hand passes out wide. Breaking away is Newman. Goes short. Kept his head. Marriage the hand pass to Deledio. Deledio kicks inside the forward 50. Jack is back. Jack has taken the mark 25 metres out. slight angle. And you'd pick him to kick this.
Well, they rolled the dice. They put Blake into the ruck, and that's really got St Kilda going again, or it's part of the reason he's been in there during that period. But the price you pay is Simpkins hasn't looked like they're able to beat Riewoldt in those body-to-body duels early in the game, and just then.
Psychology of football, it's crazy, isn't it? Challenged, overtaken. They bounce back, win it out of the centre. Riewoldt kicks a goal.
So 6 goals for Jack Riewoldt. Only half that number for Nick, but he's played a colossal game as well. And this match has just had the lot. It's been a wonderful game. It's been so exciting, so many highlights. A rather dour third quarter, the second half of the third quarter, but it set up the final turn. Richmond got to a 20-point lead. St Kilda came storming back. And Jack Riewoldt kicks the goal.
Well, Scotty Waters said at three-quarter time how important Blake is, and they need 2 of him. Well, it's turned out to be the case. He's gone into the middle, and he's rucking beautifully. They're winning the clearances 7-2 this quarter, but then again, Riewoldt gets that mark so hard.
8th time the lead has changed in the match. A lot of that in the second quarter. Sipos has kicked forward. Saad can sniff it. Doesn't get the bounce. And then Jones belts the ball forward. Batchelor was so strong there. Stephen. Jones swings the handball out. Malera. They're in front again. Can it get any better than this game of footy?
I hate to say it, Bruce, but I think he should have gone over the top.
Dennis, killjoy.
Yeah, he kicked the goal, but he had about 3 St Kilda. We'll have a look at it here in the replay. About 3 St Kilda teammates.
What about the Jones handball?
Oh, fantastic. Into the centre corridor where it's dangerous. Again, there's a lot of St Kilda players around. Malera, but he thought I'll finish it myself. Which he did. Well, if you can pick the winner of this game, you're doing well. It's just end-to-end footy.
And we've talked a lot about the Riewoldt tonight, but what about the small forwards and their contribution?
Really dangerous, both ends.
Just needs Stephen Milne to come to the party now. Potential match winner, lurking in the shadows. That's where he operates best. Bounce. Marriage hooks it down. Delidio tries to crash his way through. Martin on the assist. Sipos has been good. The hand pass, though, goes wide of Del Santo, taken by Hooley. Gave it to Edwards. Forward to Grigg. Del Santo got him. Graham applies a tackle on Edwards. Great tackling. Up came Stephen, jarred the ball loose, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Just saw the value of tackling. They were off Richmond, but the St Kilda player just laid tackle after tackle after tackle.
What a game. Tossed in. Both sides deserve the 4 points, really. It will be a side that's sad and sorry after this one. Rance got it from Grigg. Inside the forward 50. Riewoldt launched himself. Falls to King. Newnes did well. Hard against the boundary line. Tom Harley likes him. That's a recommendation. Goes short. Sipos has got the football. Montagna. Saints lead it by 4. Still oodles of time. 50-50 ball. Look out. Coming up the ground, Marrick. Goddard swung a boot at it. Edwards put the head down. Graham, terrific in this final term. Again, indecision from Gilbert. Breaking the pack is Marrick. Goes downwards, full forward and Jack. Riewoldt goes in and makes it 7. Tigers back in front.
Gee, what a tackle on Goddard, eh? What a tackle on Goddard.
Well, we talk often about missed tackles, but on this occasion, Marrick's the fresh player. He's come on as a sub. And we see it here.
Have a look at this. They were off. There was a St Kilda player on the wing by himself. But who was it, I think? Edwards wasn't who laid the tackle.
So Riewoldt was 7 for the 3rd time in his career, Richo.
Oh, it's unbelievable down here. Players are coming on and off. They're all absolutely spent. Jack Stephen just come off with a sore right shoulder. There's still probably 10 minutes of game time to go. There's a lot of players really starting to struggle.
Oh, remarkable match. He's getting better by the minute. Cochin, Martin, and then long. Now where's Jack? He's running back hard. The bounce of the ball. And behind a collective sigh all around this ground. It's a massive crowd tonight. I think it's the biggest crowd for the year at Etihad. We'll check on that in a minute. Dempster's quick kick in. Marriage has been so good. Can he break the tackle? Not really. Sipos has been handy, hasn't he? Del Santo draws to Hayes. Hayes looks up. He's normally a beautiful kicker's Lenny. He kicks it towards Stevie. Milne played it cleverly. Couldn't find the footy. Now he does. Can he conjure? No, that's not a good effort by Milne. And then Morris runs it over.
What about the courage and commitment of these Richmond players here?
That's where I reckon you just got to be. I mean, I know they've floated with each other, but just the desperation at the moment. Sometimes one of those players probably should have just sensed the teammate in position.
Problem was both desperados, Morris and Rance. They know no fear. Cochin in desperate trouble. Hooks it over his own shoulder there, and the ball goes across the boundary line and out of bounds. Morris just jumping right at the boundary.
I reckon when you're a young, terrific attendance. I reckon when you're a young building side, you almost forgive that.
Just got to go. Yeah.
Tap by Kazitsky. Hurley building forward. Sipos brought down by Batchelor. Good play, Batchelor to Hurley. Another one-on-one. Noons and King. King and Noons. Good contest. Comes to Deledio. And Deledio up and under. Back into the heart of the centre square. Built it forward by Jackson. Dempster, can he deliver? He took one sensational mark in this quarter. Del Santo searching in that crowd, by the way, 4,000 more than any other game that Eddie had this year. Previous best 45 in the opening round of the season, the Bombers and the Kangaroos.
They're good judges, Bruce, aren't they? They know when to come out. Marriage knocks it down. Martin at close quarters. Cochin, wonderful stuff. Breaks a tackle. Loses his strides. Kicks it down towards half forward. Revolt. Tackle by Dempster. Got boot to ball. Saints with the numbers back. Awkward bounce. Now a chance for Nahas. Brilliant from one knee. Gave it to Revolt. Over the top to Ellis. The 18-year-old storms into goal and kicks it. And the Tigers lead. They stretch it by 6 points. It's out to 9.
Robbie Nahas has just been sensational, hasn't he? I mean,
so quick.
He had 3 guys against him.
Well, what he is they're really agile at ground level, and one of his techniques is just to sort of drop in the tackle, so it makes it very hard for the tackle to be laid without it being high. But just the ability to flick the ball out then to find Rewalt. Good finish under pressure.
Their working close has been terrific. They're winning the contested ball. There's Benny Gale, the CEO, in the middle of that pack there. Not quite getting out of his set.
He's brave.
But their ability to spread the ball with long sort of 5 to 7 metre handballs, get it out in the space.
Again, Cochin broke the tackle, got it free in the first place.
So Blake went early. Cochin again. Jackson, well played. They've responded so far, the Tigers. Good kick coming from Conker to King. Fuller, they've almost got control of their own destiny now, Richmond. One more goal. So King loads up to full forward and Blake belts it over the line. So the Saints have been so brave tonight. They've been able to score heavily, we know that. But they need 2 more goals in the next 4 minutes. So for one team, a glorious victory, and for the other, really painful to defeat on a night like tonight.
Got up to himself and he breaks away. Kicks to the outer side. Big pack at the drop. Lurking behind his Conker. Sweeps it wide. Marrick settles. Drives it long down towards full forward. Tigers have got the numbers down here. Loose ball at the back. Getting back. Well played by Gilbert that time. Swings it out wide. In transition. This is Sipos. Uses the ball well generally. Goes short to Jones. That's going to be 50. He wants to play on that. This won't be allowed, and I think that's going to hurt the Saints. Well, there you go.
You can't call advantage for a 50-metre penalty.
No, more's the pity for the Saints because Ray was galloping away. No one up ahead. Comes across towards Goddard. Wobbles it down towards full forward. Dropped at the back there by Kazitsky. Taken by Milne. I think he's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. Had more time than he knew. A lot more time.
So 5 shots tonight, Stevie, for 1 goal. It's just a real chance there, wasn't it? Goddard didn't really get the torpedo going. That chaos-type ball gave Milne the chance. They're not going to get many more chances, you think. Marriage, so well done. Tuck. A bit of an up and under. Delidio's just come off the interchange. Can he hang on to it? He does so well. Forward. And now they're on. Jack's kick 7. Waits for the footy. One bounce, two bounces. He's got 8 on the back of his jumper, and he's got 8 goals tonight.
Well, I've got to say, Bruce, I don't like that to win a football match. Bloke comes on through the interchange.
What do you call it?
And Australia. That's just sneaky.
But I don't think anyone could win for Richmond tonight.
No. Richmond would have been really hard-pressed had they lost this. I mean, they deserved to win. It would have been a travesty of justice had they lost, but I just don't like it. Did someone come off, or did they wait and time it?
Yeah, he just got cleared. Delidio came off interchange and made the extra play to get there. There's some talk of actually like making the interchange happen straight away. Something say you can't hang. I don't think he was on interchange for 30 seconds waiting.
No.
But at least to make you go on and off.
His arm. Take your kick, Jason Blake. Drag his arm. He dragged his arm down. Play on.
There goes Hayes out of the middle. But you feel that the bird has flown. Milne told to play on inside the last 3 minutes. Drives it long. Revolt. Did he touch it? Oh, well, he did.
Touch off the mark.
On the straight.
106 plays 121. Well, the Tigers, in the space of 6 days, have handed Damien Hardwick his best week, I think, as a coach, without question. And I would say one of the most exciting weeks in his illustrious football career, as the ball comes to half-back and Tuck just glides up like a butterfly and takes the mark.
Where you just go down the line, don't worry about the coming inboard, just kick it down the line, try and keep it wide.
It's just been one of the outstanding games. Drives it beyond the wing, towering this time. Gilbert takes the mark. No time to finesse. Saints have to drive it long, but even then you think it's a forlorn hope. Gilbert from half-back drives it. Revolt can't get to the contest. Hit him in the face, actually, off hands. Morris has been the master of Milne. Gave it to Hooley. Across it comes to Batchelor. And now the run comes from Grigg.
Well done, cut off by Dempster, and then Malera to Stephen, to Hayes, to Graham, who's kicked 2 in this last quarter, to Jones, sweeps it out wide, to Ray, off a step, kept his cool. Armitage has been good. Gee, Armitage and Jones are like twins, aren't they? The mummy twins.
Yeah, and they're all bad kicks that got the footy there. They were trying to sort of get it to somebody. It was a good kick.
He knows he has to get this on the boot quickly. Can't waste time.
45 metres out. Good looking kick. And Armitage kicks his second last quarter goal.
Okay.
Back to 9 points. Centre clearance suddenly becomes an issue, important.
Well, that more goals in front, there is minutes to go. When there's 1 minute to go and 2 goals, you can still win it. See, they're going to add a really quick centre square clearance, however, St Kilda.
Well, the game,
or in fact, 2 of them.
The game deserves a really close finish.
Well, the way it's been going.
So 6-2 to St Kilda, 6-2 to Richmond in this term. Shades of the second term, and it was 6-2 to 6-1. It's like Kooyong with goalposts. 121 to 112. Rucks go at it. One down by Blake. We've got a whistle. St Kilda getting a free kick. Well, the centre square takeaway they desperately needed was gifted to them. Del Santo, the long ball. Revolt lifts, can't take the mark. Milne at the foot of the pack. Comes to Jones. Charged down by Marrick. In goes Batchelor. Claimed by Jones. Graham's got it. They've got him. And the umpire calls for it.
Did a good job, didn't he, Rance, to get his back into Rewald. He had full leap at the football, Rewald, but Rance just was able to chest him under the footy.
So third man up, Sard gets it out to Blake, to Goddard. Ricochet's back. Blake off a step. Oh! Might have got a Brownlow vote if he kicked that.
His good nerves here. Just control the tempo of the footy here. Get the uncontested ball here, Richmond. The skipper loved his game. His discipline in setting up across half-back's been great.
Well, we came here expecting a lot tonight, and we've had that and some, as Newman's long ball and strong mark by Revolt. Gee, I wonder who is the Ian Stewart medalist, because Revolt's kicked 8. There's been so many good players out there tonight.
Eight's always been a good bag, but in modern footy, 8 bags are probably worth about 15 in past eras.
Well, it's the biggest bag for the season by any player. So Richmond, what a week they've had. Hawthorn by 10 goals at the MCG, and even a sterner test tonight against the Saints, who have been so good themselves, as Goddard loads it up. And look at that response around the ground.